Hi, my name is Anna, and this is my video for the virtual read-up for Banned Books Week, and my book is The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. This book is about the turn of the century and how the United States was viewed as a land of opportunity, with immigrants from all over the world eagerly lining up to start their new lives in hopes of obtaining their share of the American dream. These large new groups of people resulted in overpopulation, high unemployment, and political and corporate corruption. In attempts to shine light on these brutal conditions, Upton Sinclair wrote an expose that shocked citizens across the nation. This book is an important part of our history, and a direct result of it, new federal laws about food safety and processing were passed, improving the country. In order to learn from our past mistakes, we must savor books like these to study and grasp, not ban them. For years, students have studied yellow journalism and muckraking when learning about the Industrial Revolution in their history classes, with the jungle being a topic of discussion. Due to the reportedly socialist views of vulgarity, this book has been banned in East Germany, Yugoslavia, South Korea, and Boston. The Nazis in Germany during World War II thought the book was so horribly poisoned with socialist views that they decided to include it in the piles of books that they would burn. Many school districts have had controversies about the filth and disturbing scenes he described, and whether or not that should be allowed in the curriculum. I'm going to read an excerpt from the book, chapter 14, just to show you why this book is deemed so controversial. This is chapter 14 and page 163. There was never the least attention paid to what was cut up for sausages. They would come all the way back from Europe, old sausage that had been rejected and that was moldy and white. It would be dosed with borax and glycerine and dumped into the hoppers and made over again for home consumption. There would be meat that had tumbled onto the floor in the dirt and sawdust, where the workers had tramped and spit uncounted billions of consumption germs. There would be meat stored in great piles in rooms, and the water from leaky roofs would drip over it, and thousands of rats would race out about it. It was too dark in these storage places to see well, but a man could run his hand over these piles of meat and sweep off handfuls of the dried dung of rats. These rats were nuisances, and the packers would put poisoned bread out for them. They would die, and then the rats, the bread, and the meat would go into the hoppers. This is no fairy story and no joke. The meat would be shoveled into carts, and the man who did the shoveling would have no trouble to lift out a rat, even when he saw one. There were things that went into the sausage in comparison with which a poisoned rat was just a tidbit. This book is significant to me because I feel it can be a universal textbook for students and professors of all majors to study and learn from. Historians can read and learn about the early 1900s and the depths of political and social corruption that occurred during this new advancement of technologies. Mass communication majors, such as myself, can absorb the style of journalism and how muckraking impacts the reporting of newspapers and articles. Even science majors can learn about how they manipulated different chemicals to portray meat as edible when it was in fact extremely rotten. This book helped us pick the exploited lives of immigrants and how they lived with harsh conditions at work while attempting to care for a family and paid demanding fees, faced crime, corruption, and disease, portraying the odds they and other working people went against in an attempt to grasp the American dream. He gave a voice to those that had none and told their story. In direct result from this book, new reforms were made in an attempt to fix the food industry, including the Federal Meat Inspection Act of 1907 and the Food and Drug Act of 1906. This book shouldn't be banished, but instead should be studied and preserved, as it shows a magnitude of progression from what was deemed ethical then compared to what is deemed ethical now. If this book were to be banned, we would soon forget all that it stands for, and history has a nasty habit of repeating itself. Thanks for watching.